Today, I want to talk about how I think I might be approaching burnout and what I'm doing to stop the fire. I mean, what is burnout really? Is it a breakdown? Is it a freak out? It's something that happens to people who can't handle stress, weak people, but burnout is a very real thing. And today I wanted to help define it, understand it, so that you and I can prevent it from happening. Because the important thing is that burnout is a gradual process. It doesn't just turn up one morning, you wake up and you're burnt out. It's a gradual process. And with any gradual process, there are a lot of warning signs and red flags that I have hopefully, I think, just recognized 2 weeks into sort of my gradual progression towards burnout. And today I want to talk about that. Specifically, actually talk to Rufus in the LUNICORN team, who's had a really severe experience with the worst kind of burnout. All right, so how do we define it? Burnout is a state of emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion caused by excessive and prolonged stress. If you have a prolonged period of stress that just doesn't give up and continues for a long period of time, that can result in burnout. Really interestingly, there are 3 kind of areas that can contribute towards burnout, and those are lifestyle, work-wise, and also personality traits can also lead towards more likelihood of burnout. There are 4 personality traits that actually can lead towards burnout, so it's important to understand which personality trait you fit into, and that's people who are high achievers, perfectionists, people who have to have full control, and pessimists as well are more likely to reach burnout through stress that they cause in their lives. The lifestyle aspects are not getting enough sleep, taking on too much responsibility, a lack of a close and supportive friendship network around you, and working too much, obviously. And the work-related ones are feeling like you have little or no control over your work, lack of recognition or reward for good work done, unclear or overly demanding job expectations, doing work that's monotonous or unchallenging, and of course, working in a high-pressure or chaotic environment. All right, so now we've understood burnout versus stress a little bit more. Before I move on to actually defining the difference between stress and burnout, I wanted to talk about my recent experiences with why I'm making this video today and actually why I think that I'm approaching burnout. So as you know, I started exactly 30 days ago this 100-day YouTube video challenge, meaning that I was posting a video every single day. So basically, the last 30 days, I have worked every single day of the week, Monday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you name it. And I've worked on average about 70 hours a week across the last 4.5, 5 weeks. And that's actually been okay. I enjoy working anyway. My work is fun. It's pleasurable for me to do, to be in front of the cameras, trying to be creative. But one of the major contributors to why I've recently started to feel a little bit stressed, too stressed, I've noticed my anxiety increasing more than it has in the last 5 weeks. But the major contributing factor that I've realized is sleep. So I'm very sleep deprived at the moment. I on average get anything from 5.5 to 6 hours sleep, but that's disrupted sleep, very restless sleep. For some people that might be a lot, but just remember, like, they affect all of us very differently. Like, we're all very different people, right? So if you can sleep and function in 4 hours, great, I admire you, good for you. But most people genuinely need 8 hours of sleep. I've also, having just noticed in the last few days that I've really felt very heavy and just felt really tired. I haven't been working out. And exercise throughout my life is such an important contributor to my well-being. And I've pretty much almost not worked out in the last week and a half because I've been too busy, right? I've been a bit too stressed. And then when I did work out, I felt so exhausted by that experience. So I decided to take it easy so I wouldn't overstress myself. So that's one thing I've noticed that I need to reintroduce gradually now, that I'm going to focus on prioritizing exercise in the mornings now instead of doing it in the afternoon. And one other thing I noticed in the last week and a half is I've stopped cooking that much in the evenings for myself. I've been ordering food. I've been just trying to make what I have left over. So I've been uninspired by what I've been eating. And then every time I've eaten out, I felt a little bit guilty because I'm just spending money when I really should have just gone out to the store to buy things. What I'm going to do as of tonight is I'm going to go for a light run. And I'm also I've bought some nice groceries. I'm going to cook myself a beautiful dinner. And I'm going to enjoy that process. Maybe call a few friends, put some music on, have one glass of wine. But also swapping this in the afternoon for this. So coffees in the afternoon are a no-go. So I'm swapping that for tea in the afternoon now. I'm drinking tea and it's a boiling hot day and I'm probably sweating through this already. So terrible idea. Maybe I should iced tea. So, long story short is I've noticed, and I'm very grateful that I noticed that I wasn't performing as well as I usually do in the last few days because I haven't been sleeping. And obviously that's affected by the fact that I'm working every single day. So they're all contributing factors, plus that I'm a bit of a perfectionist. So I know that I have a personality trait that's more likely to feel stress and burn out. So I'm just aware of these things. So I think my only advice is to say that be aware of who you are and what your environment is setting you up to be? Is it setting you up to be a stressed person? Is it setting you up to be a chilled person? And working with it. I don't want to change my workload. I don't want to change my environment. But what I want to change is how I'm sleeping and what can I change in my daily setup to optimize my ability to sleep efficiently, right? But enough about me. I want to talk to Rufus now, who had his own really severe experience with burnout just the end of last year. Should we chat to Rufus? Rufus, you free?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Sit down. All right, Rufus. So the beauty of working in my living room here in Lisbon is that we can just sit on the sofa and chat, spin the camera around. Yeah. Mate, so, I'm talking about burnout, trying to understand burnout. And for everyone's benefit, you've had your own experience with burnout, right?
I have.
Tell me, were there any symptoms to you actually burning out? Because you actually had an event when you literally, like, the fuse went, right?
Oh, yeah. I had 2 weeks of cold sweating.
That was a build-up.
Yeah, that was a pretty good build-up. And no energy, just cold sweating.
But you didn't think you were burning out? You didn't do anything about it, right?
No, I thought I was just tired and exhausted from working a lot and working out a lot. Looking back at it, because at the time I felt totally fine, and then it just hit me. But looking back at it, I maybe taken 1 to 2 weeks holiday in 3 years.
Did you feel like you could tell anyone, or how did you feel like you would deal with it?
No, I only told my family, and they of course got worried. But that only worsened it for me, because they starting to ask questions that I didn't have the answers to. I also went to the doctor, but the doctor didn't find anything.
Really?
Yeah, the blood work was okay and everything was okay, so they were like, nothing you can do here. I was home alone one day, and then my heart just starting to pound in a rate I couldn't control. And
so you literally felt like you've been running. It was like...
Yeah, and the weird thing about it also was that it was not like a normal rhythm. It was so random. I could have like 4 fast beats, 2 slow, 6 fast beats, 1 slow, and it was like I had no control. And then my chest, like, it felt like you're blowing out air of a balloon, like cramping together.
Wow. So it was just like you had a crazy...
Yeah. And then I had to go straight into the bed because I couldn't like figure out what this is. I never experienced something like this before. So I had to like run into my bedroom, lay down, and just like think and try to breathe really good. And the thing ended up like I couldn't fix it. That's the first time I was out of control totally. We ended up calling an ambulance, get me to the hospital, and yeah, they pretty much said that it was a panic
attack. Yeah, so basically your buildup of stress over years of just working too much resulted in a 2-week kind of symptom, of hot sweats and things like that. That was the time that we... Yeah. But why didn't you in that period like tell people about the stress or whatever? Did you feel ashamed, or why did you not like raise that to anyone?
I don't know. I'm just used to working a lot, and talking about people working a lot. I'm not the guy that speaks out first. So I like to keep my thoughts to myself and just stay there.
Because I think like with a lot of men specifically, like I said at the beginning of this video about, I grew up in a culture of like maverick men who just never get sick and keep working into their 80s, right? And the reality of it is, yes, some people can do that, but most people can't. And it's not weak to say, hey, to your colleagues or bosses or whoever it is, hey, I'm feeling an overwhelming amount of stress right now. I need to take a day or 2 or 3 or a week off or whatever, right? That's not weakness, that's a strength, because you've gone against the societal unfortunate norm that we're all okay and everyone's fine, and said, hey, I've recognized before I have a problem that I might be getting one, and I'm taking evasive action to avoid that problem because I'm a strong person and I want to stay strong in the long run. So I think that's something I would say to anyone who ever feels these kind of things. So actually literally like right now I'm making this video because I've noticed that I might be coming overstressed towards burnout. What did I say to Rufus? I'm like, dude, I'm feeling this thing. The last 3 nights, I've stopped working a bit in the evenings. Like I've stopped working at all, taken some time off. But I noticed as well, it's not like an easy fix. If you have all this buildup of stress, it doesn't just go away if you have 1 night off, right?
Oh, no.
So since Monday, I took Monday night off. I took Tuesday night off. And last night, and this morning, the one thing that I did actually, which I think really worked for me this morning, was that I wake up every morning at 6 a.m. anyway, right? And I'm going to bed by 10, so I should have 8 hours to sleep. I only sleep 5.5, 6 hours within that, and not that great anyway. So that's my problem, sleep. But this morning, after 2 nights off and slightly easier days, because Rufus took up the slack, he was like, "I got you for these days. Thank you, buddy." Oh boy. Anyway, and then I noticed that this morning, because I didn't put my alarm on. Right, I'm gonna do it again tomorrow. I woke up at 7 naturally anyway, but I didn't put my alarm on, so I let my body get the sleep it needed, and then my body clock woke me up. I'm gonna do the same again tonight. I'm not gonna wake up at 11, and if I do, then my body needed it. So I think I've noticed that my sleep is the problem. So I'm gonna try and catch up with sleep recently. We've reduced the stress, and also for the first time in 5 weeks, we're gonna try and take this weekend off because we're bulk filming and producing some stuff, right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Hopefully.
Thank you so much, Rufus. Thanks for sharing your story, mate, with everyone. Thank you so much for watching this episode. I'm going to talk more about this topic, and I'm going to update you in a few days how I'm feeling, because I'm definitely going to cook myself some nice things tonight. I'm going to go for a light jog. I'm going to do all the things that I know contribute to being a therapy for me. And I should probably end this video right now, because I've definitely been talking too long, and I've definitely given too much energy, and I'm starting to feel a little bit anxious about editing this video now. So thank you so much for watching this. Hey, if you need any support and any help with burnout or stress, I'm going to link a few things down below that I found really valuable to me. And Rufus, if you've got anything to add, we'll link it below as well. And we'll make a follow-up. Thank you. I'll see you in tomorrow's vlog.